Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Understanding the Sky. 1,000 times the heavenly dragon in 8 tones shake the Ma Qin demon. Qin Wang crossed the Shenzhou comprehensive martial arts world and saved a beautiful woman from amnesia to get married. Unexpectedly, it was Huang Xuemei, the deadly Qin demon among the 6-finger Qin demons. Qin Wang received a gift from the heavenly way, had a rebellious understanding, and gained an epiphany by practicing the heavenly dragon 8 sounds. He realized the power of the 9 dragons' pure thunder sound, which exceeded the heavenly dragon 8 sounds by 100 times. Shocking Qin Mo Huang Xuemei. Dao 18 Stop. Qin Wang directly creates a divine sword to open the heavenly gate. The Qinkuan Great Movement only has 7 levels. Qin Wang directly deduces 100 levels. Practice the I Jin Jing and realized the Immortal Life Sutra. As more and more martial arts secrets and Taoist scriptures were seen, Qin Wang's cultivation techniques became stronger and stronger, gradually creating the cultivation technique. Nangong Pushe. If you pass on my divine sword to open the heavenly gate, I am willing to do anything for you. Xiao Zhao. Xiao Zhao is willing to be a maid, and I beg the young master to deduce once. May I serve the young master with the heavenly demon dance, and only ask the young master to deduce the heavenly demon technique once. Yulan. Begging the young master to push. Jing Xian, Yan Fei, Yan Lingji, Li Xiaoning. Qin Wangwu has developed more and more immortal cultivation techniques, and his small courtyard has become a holy land in the martial arts world. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Understanding Against Heaven. You're a young and beautiful wife. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The heavenly demon plane covers an area of 5,000 miles. Located at the junction of the Dali dynasty, the Ming dynasty, and the Qin dynasty, due to its unique geographical situation, a 3-no-matter zone was formed. Many extremely vicious giants in the martial arts world, as well as assassins who have nowhere to go after them, have all come to this heavenly demon plane to hide. Xianxia Town. It is a bustling town in the eastern part of Tianma Plain. 5 miles behind Tongfu Inn, there is a courtyard with 4 courtyards. There are red couplets pasted on the door, hanging festive red lanterns, and the door and window decorations are all red with the character, Shi. In the room. Qin Wang looked at his exquisitely beautiful wife Xuemei, who was covered by a large red brocade and closed her eyes for a nap, with a satisfied expression in her eyes. Qin Wang is a traveler. He was originally a university graduate monk on Earth without a car, house, or money, and has been traveling to this world for 2 years. In 2 years, he also figured out that this was a world of comprehensive martial arts. There are various sects and factions that he is familiar with in his past life, such as the Demon Sect, Qinglong Society, Yihua Palace, Beggar's Sect, Mingjiao, Luo Wang, Ingmi Guard, Sihang Jingzhai, Xiaka Island, Tianmen, Wudi City, Shuyua City, and various schools of thought. Meanwhile, relying on advanced knowledge from his past life, he spent 2 years doing business and bought this courtyard house, leaving behind several hundred taels of silver. His life was relatively prosperous. He also purchased the yellow level lower level internal skill secret book Jingtao skill. He has been practicing Jingtao skill for 2 years, which is only 1 level after birth. He has not accumulated much internal power. It is not that he does not buy advanced secret books, but that all advanced secret books are precious to the sect's power. Occasionally there are better ones, but they are also outrageously expensive. 3 months ago, he saved a young woman who was seriously injured and unconscious at the border of the heavenly demon plane and the Ming dynasty. He brought her back to recuperate, but the woman regained consciousness and lost some of her memories. However, the woman had a jade pendant with the word Xuemei on her body, so Qin Wang named her Qin Xuemei. After Qin Xuemei recovered from her injury, she followed Qin Huang to cook and serve him. Xuemei, in gratitude for Qin Huang's life-saving kindness, chose to make a promise with her own life and married her today. Xianggong, why haven't you moved? Qin Xuemei gave Qin a resentful glance and murmured softly. Ah! I'm so happy today. Let's hurry up and work. Qin Huang regained his senses and began to explore and study. The next day. Early morning. Qin Huangyu woke up and saw Qin Xuemei, dressed in a woman's outfit, sitting on one side, holding her fragrant cheeks with bare hands and looking at him with gentle eyes. On the table next to her, there was also a fragrant pottery jar. Seeing Qin Huang wake up, Qin Xuemei scooped up a porcelain bowl of soup, picked up some with a spoon, and handed it to Qin Huang with a cold air. She spoke softly. Xianggong, you're awake. Let's have some local chicken soup first. It was stewed by me in the third shift. How about you taste it? Xiaomei, I was busy until the second shift last night. You. Don't work too hard. Hurry up tomorrow, let's buy some servants and leave these things to them to do. Qin Huang drank the soup from the spoon and gently stroked Xuemei's beautiful hair, with a look of regret in his eyes. He remembered that after seeing off his neighbor last night, he entered his new house during the hour of high. He worked until the second shift, and Xuemei woke up during the third shift. Isn't it true that she only slept for an hour? Actually, Qin Huang has always advocated buying servants and maids, but Qin Xuemei couldn't bear it and said she could do these things. I don't feel tired at all. I know martial arts. As long as I control my mind and move my whole body a few times, I immediately feel refreshed. Buying a maid also costs money. In the future, when we have children, it will cost money. Qin Xuemei said, thinking of the scene from last night. Her delicate face showed a blush and felt a bit embarrassed. What? Do you know martial arts? Upon hearing this, Qin Huang was very surprised. Why didn't you hear Xuemei say before? Yes, my husband. After getting married last night, I suddenly regained some memories and remembered the martial arts I had previously practiced. Qin Xuemei smiled sweetly and said. Can I see if you show off your true anger? Qin Huang looked at Qin Xuemei with fiery eyes. You should know. Advanced martial arts are secrets that are not passed down in major sections. The Jingtao skill he bought belongs to the lowest yellow level lower level, spending nearly 100 taels of silver. Xuemei actually knows martial arts. Okay, let's go outside and I'll show you. After Qin Xuemei finished speaking, she served Qin Huang and put on her clothes. She followed Qin Huang and walked out the door. Qin Xuemei lightly slapped a stone 3 zhang away, the size of a grinding wheel. I saw a semi-transparent palm light flying out. Puff. A muffled sound. The big stone on the grinding disc instantly turned into powder. Xuemei, your skill is really amazing. It's much more powerful than my practice of Jingtao Gong. Qin Huang looked at the grinding stone that had turned into powder and felt a great shock in his heart. The Jingtao Gong he had finally bought was too useless. If he could learn Qin Xuemei's martial arts, it would be amazing. Xianggong, why don't you practice my Tianlong Bayan? Xuemei looked at Qin Huang, her beautiful eyes flickering. Ah! Your martial arts skills are called Tian Long Bayin. Upon hearing Xuemei's words, Qin Huang was immediately startled. That's right, it's called the Heavenly Dragon 8 Tones. However, it needs to be paired with the Heavenly Demon Qin to achieve its strongest power, which can also be used by ordinary Qin and musical instruments, but the power is weaker. Qin Xuemei nodded. This. Upon hearing these words, Qin Huang felt a wave of anxiety in his heart. As far as he knows, Tianlong Bayan is a unique technique of the Tianlong sect, with infinite power. Once mastered, it can be paired with the heavenly demon Qin, making it a powerful weapon for group killing. Is Xuemei a descendant of the Tianlong sect? Shouldn't it be Xiaomei is the terrifying Qin demon Huang Xuemei, right? You should know. Huang Xuemei has a deep grudge against the Sea of Blood. After practicing the martial arts of Tianlong Bayan, she collaborated with the heavenly demon Qin to dominate the world and use her own strength to kill unparalleled powerful figures such as the Ghost Saint and the Flame Ancestor Hao Qinghua. If Xiaomei were the intimidating Qin demon Huang Xuemei in the martial arts world, would she kill herself once she regains her memory and learns that she is married to her? Thinking of this, Qin Wang carefully glanced at Huang Xuemei in front of him. It was difficult for him to associate the gentle woman in front of him, who had taken the initiative last night, with the murderous and intimidating Qin Mo, who made the martial arts figures tremble with fear. Xianggong, what do you think? Even if I have regained all my memories and am indeed Huang Xuemei, known as the Qin demon, in the martial arts world, I am still your wife. Xiaomei was clever and saw Qin Wang's concern. She immediately walked forward, hugged him, and lightly pecked his face. With the soft jade in his arms, Qin Wang took a deep breath, picked up Xiaomei horizontally, and walked towards the room. Xianggong, why don't you drink the soup first? Otherwise, it won't taste good if it gets cold. Qin Xuemei let out a coquettish anger and already knew the intentions of her husband. What soup to drink? It's more nourishing than soup. Qin Wang chuckled. 2 hours later. Qin Wang pressed his waist and supported the wall, walked out of the room, looked at the scorching sun above his head, and murmured. No, I have to work hard to cultivate and strengthen my body, otherwise I will die young. Ding! You have achieved your first achievement of crossing the Shenzhou Comprehensive Martial Arts World for 2 years. You have received a gift from the Heavenly Way. You have obtained the root bone of the anti-heavenly martial arts. You have obtained a talent for supernatural comprehension. At this moment, a warning sound rang in Qin Wang's mind. At the same time, Qin Wang only felt a clear current rushing into his mind. He instantly felt that his spirit was 100 times better, and his mind became incredibly clear. There was a feeling of drifting from his soul to immortality, as if in this moment, the whole person had been sublimated. Reverse. Reverse heaven's understanding. Reverse heaven's martial arts root bones. Upon hearing the hint in his mind, Qin Wang's eyes lit up instantly. It's not easy. He didn't expect that after 2 years of travel, the golden finger finally arrived. With these golden fingers, my future days will be even more nourishing. Achieve the first achievement that spans 2 years, receive the gift of the heavenly way, overcome the heaven's understanding, and overcome the heaven's roots. Is it possible to achieve a second achievement in another 2 years? What about 10 years, 100 years? And what will be the generous gift at that time? Qin Wang thought of the gift from the heavenly way, and his heart was filled with anticipation for the future. Xianggong, should I first pass on your Tianlong sect's internal mental skills and Tianlong 8 sounds? At this moment, Qin Xuemei walked out with a bright red face, her beautiful eyes full of spring. Okay. Qin Wang's eyes showed anticipation. Mastering the Tianlong 8 tones and Tianlong sect mind techniques can improve one's own cultivation and strengthen one's body. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Chapter 2. 9 Dragons Pure World Thunder Sound. The Shock of Qin Mo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Tianlong 8 tones are divided into 8 tones. Stick, kill, snatch, capture, pull, spin, hammer, etc. Those who practice the 8 tones need to have extremely high true qi cultivation, because these 8 tones cannot be played solely on the qin. The 8 tones are all driven by the cultivation of true qi. First, familiarize yourself with the stick formula. In the small courtyard, Huang Xuemei patiently told Qin Wang the key to using the first tone of the Tianlong 8 tones, as well as the method of operating internal power and comprehending techniques. Qin Wang used the Tianlong sect's internal mental technique to move his internal power along specific meridian routes. Gradually, the internal power of the Jingtao technique he cultivated in his body was assimilated into the Tianlong mental technique's internal power. At the same time, he also used Qin Xuemei's narration of the Tianlong 8 tones to apply techniques, insights, and gradually familiarize himself with them. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have thoroughly understood the mysteries of the Heavenly Dragon Heart Technique and the Heavenly Dragon 8 Sounds, and have obtained the full-level Heavenly Dragon 8 Sounds. Full-level Heavenly Dragon Heart Technique. Full-level Shocking Wave Skill. You have discovered the shortcomings of Tianlong Heart Technique, Jingtao Skill, and Tianlong 8 Sounds. By integrating and completing them, and taking a big step forward from the original foundation, you have created the more powerful sound attack technique, Jiulong Jingshi Thunder Sound, which is 10 times stronger. At this moment, 2 prompts rang out in Qin Wang's mind. At the same time, Qin Wang found that his mind was upside down. Instantly enlightened. At this moment, in his mind, after the beginning of chaos, there was a clear and bright light, and all kinds of enlightenment about the Heavenly Dragon and 8 sounds were filled with enlightenment, pouring in one after another. Sound attack technique, 9 dragons clean the world thunder sound. 10 times more powerful than the Heavenly Dragon 8 tones. Upon hearing the prompt and feeling the newly comprehended thunder of the 9 dragons' pure world, Qin Wang's eyes lit up. As far as he knows, the martial arts techniques in this world of comprehensive martial arts are divided into 4 levels. Huang, Xian, Di, and Tian. Each level is further divided into 3 levels. Lower, middle, and upper. For example, the Tianlong Bayan of Xuemei is a top-grade technique at the Tian level. He didn't expect it. After learning the Heavenly Dragon 8 sounds, I surprisingly had such an incredible understanding and created the 9 dragons pure thunder sound, which is 10 times more powerful than the Heavenly Dragon 8 sounds. You should know. The Tianlong Bayan is widely recognized as the highest level martial arts technique in heaven. What is the level of Jiulong Jingshi Thunder Sound? At least it's also a top-notch product, even divine level, right? This is because his martial arts background is limited to the Tianlong Bayan and Jingtao Gong. If you watch more sect sound attack martial arts secrets and integrate them into the Jiulong Jingshi Thunder Sound, wouldn't it be possible to create unparalleled divine skills that are 20 times, 50 times, or even 100 times, 1,000 times more powerful than the Tianlong Bayan? As is well known, in the martial arts world, only heavenly level martial arts can be practiced to the realm of heaven and humanity. Heavenly level martial arts are the secret treasures of many major sections. You should know. The heavenly level martial arts in the martial arts world are all created by unparalleled predecessors who have spent decades and exhausted their entire lives. However, Qin Wang is only familiar with the Heavenly Dragon 8 tones once, creating a sound skill 10 times stronger than the Heavenly Dragon 8 tones. If this news spreads to the martial arts world, it will set off a towering wave. Buzz. Qin Wang finished comprehending the thunderous sound of the 9 dragons' pure world and began his cultivation. Suddenly, his body trembled at dusk, and a burst of air flow from the elixir field was generated out of nowhere, filling his limbs and bones with the 8 extraordinary meridians. Did I break through the day after tomorrow's double? Qin Wang felt the overflowing airflow in the dantian, with a look of surprise in his eyes. You should know. He has been practicing Jingtao Gong for nearly a year before, and only gained 1 level of strength after birth. Practicing the 9 dragons pure world thunder sound for a whole week is like breaking through the dual nature of postnatal cultivation, which is simply too fast. Qin Wang, looking forward to continuing to cultivate the 9 dragons pure world thunder sound. As a time traveler, he also has a great hero dream in his heart of flying over roofs and walls. Now that he has acquired the Golden Finger's ability to defy the heavens and the root bone, he must work hard to cultivate and fulfill his dream. With cultivation, Qin Wang felt that his whole body had 108,000 capillaries absorbing energy from the air, and the speed of gathering airflow in the dantian was getting faster and faster. In 15 minutes, Qin Wang's whole body trembled, and the dantian cyclone surged. 3 times the day after tomorrow. Cool. Undoubtedly, it is the thunderous sound of Jiulong Jingshi. Feeling the doubled airflow in the dantian, Qin Wang was pleasantly surprised. You should know. For ordinary warriors, from level 1 to level 2, it takes at least half a year or even more. The martial arts genius of various major sects can take up to 3 days or even 10.5 months at the fastest. However, Qin Wang only took a little over a quarter of an hour, and his cultivation level broke through from 1 level the day after tomorrow to 3 levels all the way. How could Xianxia be so fast? Triple. Huang Xuemei stood beside Qin Wang, her beautiful eyes wide open, revealing a stunning expression. As far as she remembers, she broke through to double to triple the day after tomorrow, but it took her half a month. But Xianxia originally only had 1 level of cultivation, but in just over a quarter of an hour of practicing the Heavenly Dragon Heart technique, he rushed from 1 level to 3 levels. Is the qualifications of the Xianxia so demonic? Why wasn't he so fast before? Just. Huang Xuemei discovered that the cultivation of Xianxia had not stopped yet, and the aura on his body continued to rise. Huang Xuemei didn't disturb her husband, she sat on the side and gently looked at Qin Wang. 4 times the day after tomorrow. 5 times the day after tomorrow. Time flies, 2 hours later. Has it been 5-fold the day after tomorrow? Qin Wang looked at his hands, feeling the terrifying power in the dantian, with a surprised expression in his eyes. In just over 2 hours. My cultivation has undergone a tremendous change. He felt that at this moment, although he couldn't exert his inner strength externally, it was not a problem to smash the millstone with a single punch. As far as he knows, the martial arts realm of this comprehensive martial arts world is divided into acquired, innate, referring to the Xuanzong Master, the Great Master, the Land Immortals, the unity of heaven and humanity, and the breaking of the void. Except for being divided into 9 realms in the day after tomorrow, the later realms are all divided into the beginning, middle, end, and perfection. For over 2 hours, advance to the 5th level of the day after tomorrow. This is simply an incredible demon qualification. Xianxia, why are you practicing so quickly? Isn't this the Heavenly Dragon Heart technique? Qin Xuemei's beautiful eyes were stunning as she looked at Qin Wang. For over 2 hours, she had never heard of this speed, from 1 weight the day after tomorrow to 5 weights the day after tomorrow. If this news were to be released in the martial arts world, no one would believe it at all. With the martial arts skills of the Prime Minister, those saints who claim to be demons and unparalleled talents in the martial arts world are nothing more than holy sons. If it weren't for what she saw with her own eyes, she wouldn't have believed it even if she were killed. And she felt that what her husband was practicing was quite different from her Heavenly Dragon Heart technique. I am indeed practicing the Heavenly Dragon Mind technique. However, it has been improved by me. I combined the Tianlong Heart technique with the Tianlong 8 tones and the Jingtao technique to create a new technique. After practicing it, I became the 5 heavens after birth. This new technique is 10 times more powerful than the Tianlong 8 sounds. Qin Wang smiled slightly and said. He felt that his speed was not only due to his strong martial arts skills, but also due to his rebellious nature. What? Is it 10 times more powerful than the heavenly dragon 8 sounds? Upon hearing this, Huang Xuemei widened her bright eyes and showed an expression of disbelief. Creating techniques. You should know that with her martial arts talent, she has been practicing the heavenly dragon 8 tones since childhood, but she has not been able to create a technique that surpasses the heavenly dragon 8 tones. You should know. The top martial arts in the martial arts world are all created by unparalleled talents who have spent decades and a lifetime of hard work. Did Xianxia actually practice the heavenly dragon 8 tones once, creating a technique that surpasses the heavenly dragon 8 tones by 10 times? This isn't it too demonic? I will name the new technique Zhulong Jingshi Leiyin, and I will tell you the new mnemonic. Qin Wangdang passed on the mnemonic of Zhulong Jingshi Leiyin to Huang Xuemei. Zhulong Jingshi Thunder Sound, born from the heavenly dragon 8 sounds, Huang Xuemei quickly mastered the key. After a little practice, she suddenly realized that the shackles of her great master's peak were showing signs of loosening. Xianxia, what you have come up with? This 9 dragons pure world thunder sound is too strong. I feel like if I were to cultivate this 9 dragons pure thunder sound, I would definitely be able to break through. Huang Xuemei looked at Qin Wang with a look of surprise and shock in her beautiful eyes. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Chapter 3. Huang Xuemei's closure. Kneeling for flower evaluation ticket. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Are we going to break through? Xuemei, what level of cultivation are you currently in? Upon hearing this, Qin Wang's heart moved and he asked. I am currently at the peak of my cultivation as a great master. If nothing unexpected happens, my next step is to advance to the land god immortal realm. Huang Xuemei looked at Qin Wang, her beautiful eyes shining brightly, as if she was looking at a piece of jade. The peak of the heavenly phenomenon grandmaster. Xuemei, it seems that you are Huang Xuemei from the Tianlong sect. Qin Wang looked at Huang Xuemei and murmured. Who else will come besides Huang Xuemei, the Qin demon who makes people in the martial arts world tremble at the sound of the heavenly dragon 8 sounds, the heart technique of the heavenly dragon sect, and the pinnacle of cultivation. Qin Wang didn't expect it. Surprisingly, he became married to Qin Mo, who is famous for killing people in the martial arts world. Once Xuemei regains her memory, will she strike her crush with a sword? Xianxia, don't worry. Without you, I would have died. Even if I were really the Qin demon Huang Xuemei, you would still be my Xianxia. Huang Xuemei looked at Qin Wang and said empathetically. Stop speaking. She even pressed her cherry lips and demonstrated her determination through her actions. Qin Wang was full of energy and once again walked into the muddy path, often falling. He felt that with Xuemei's resistance to death and obsession at this moment, she should not kill herself once she regained her memory. At this moment, Qin Wang only felt a sense of accomplishment bursting, and with the 5-fold cultivation the day after tomorrow, there was a faint feeling of breaking through again. 3 hours later. Xianxia. Qin Xuemei's beautiful eyes were like silk. She hugged Qin Wang and gave him a smack, lying in his arms. The day after tomorrow, it's 5 times heavier. Surprisingly, the time has become longer. It seems that we still need to work hard to cultivate and strive for an early innate realm. By then, I'm sure. Qin Wang looked at Qin Xuemei and felt very satisfied. It has been proven that the higher the cultivation level, the longer the time. Xianxia, I am practicing the 9 dragons pure world thunder sound that you have comprehended. It is about to break through the advanced land god immortal realm. I want to stay in seclusion for a few days, can I? Qin Xuemei lay in Qin Wang's arms and whispered softly. Although she lost some of her memories, but in her consciousness, there was a strong desire to break through, advance to the land god Wonderland, gain stronger strength, and do something very important to her. Sure, your cultivation is important. Qin Huang nodded at the words. The higher Qin Xuemei's cultivation, the better for him. It's just that you've suffered a lot, my lord. No one's cooking for you, and I just got married. Qin Xuemei's pretty face showed guilt. It's okay, I'll go to Tongfu Inn to buy the food. You can compensate me for the rest when you advance. Qin Huang chuckled and extended the claws of Lushan. Xianggong, you are so kind. Qin Xuemei smiled and lay in Qin Huang's arms. After a detailed explanation, Qin Xuemei prepared and went to the backyard wing room to practice. We still need to find a few maids. Qin Huang looked at the closed door of Qin Xuemei's room, with a look of contemplation in his eyes. After Xuemei recovered from her injury, she was the one cooking at home. Qin Huang also requested to buy a maid, but Xuemei said she could do housework, so she put it on hold. Now, Xuemei is about to advance to the land god immortal realm, and there may be Huang Xuemei who has scared the world. How can Qin Huang continue to let her do housework? However, we need to go to Su's ready-to-wear shop first. Qin Huang murmured to himself. Traveling through time, he first found the Su's ready-to-wear shop, designed bras for later generations, and collaborated with them to promote them to the gentleness of the high-ranking officials, which was very popular among those girls. Finally, many wealthy women sent people to buy them. Qin Huang, with his designed bra, saved up this courtyard house and also saved hundreds of taels of silver. He paid a monthly protection fee of 2 taels to the Shui gang, which allowed him to settle down. During the time of getting married, Qin Huang didn't go to Su's ready-to-wear shop. Now that he has time, he still needs to go and get a monthly commission. After all, finding maids, as well as future life, will cost you money. We cannot sit idly by. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Chapter 4. Nangong Servants. Dao 19, stop. Kneel down. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Huang is not worried about Su's ready-to-wear shop cheating. After all, he still has various new styles of bras and fun clothes in his hands. As long as he takes them out, it will definitely create a wave of excitement. You should know. Qin Huang heard from a girl in the gentle township of grand officials that since using his bra, business has increased by 30%, and many old customers have come back for the second time, unable to show off. The shopkeeper of the ready-to-wear shop, Su Chang, would not cheat as long as he is not a fool. Su's ready-to-wear shop is one of the 3 ready-to-wear shops in Xianxia town. On the bustling street, there are 3 shops, and behind them is a tailor's shop. Ah! Did shopkeeper Su have an accident? The draw can only be counted after shopkeeper Su's funeral is completed. Qin Huang stood at the entrance of Su's ready-to-wear shop, staring at Su Jifang, the butler of the Su family, and was stunned. It turned out that more than 20 days ago, shopkeeper Su, who was being courteous among high-ranking officials, hung it on the belly of Miss Zueyun. His son was underage, and the ready-to-wear shop was controlled by Lady Su. Anyway, I'll come back next month and calculate together. Qin Huang nodded. He did indeed have an accident, and it will be the same when we calculate it together. Currently, I am not short of silver. It's almost noon, go to Tongfu Inn to buy some food and bring a portion for Xuemei as well. After a moment of contemplation, Qin Huang walked towards Tongfu Inn. Oh my! Qin Gongzi, you have finally arrived. What would you like to eat for lunch? At Tongfu Inn, Tong Xiangyu, with rosy cheeks and makeup on her face, greeted her. Manager Tong, I want you to stir-fry 2 portions of fatty intestines, roasted chicken, and braised rabbit meat each. One portion to eat here and the other to pack. Qin Wang walked into the cafeteria, sat by the window, and said to Tong Xiangyu. The fatty intestines made by Chef Li Dezue were mixed with rock sugar, which Qin Wang couldn't bear to eat. Okay. Tong Xiangyu happily turned around and entered the kitchen. As a chef, Li Dezue gave Qin a resentful glance and had no choice but to take action against the shopkeeper. At this moment, footsteps rang out at the door, and a young man dressed in white, with a white scarf on his head, a white fox face, and two short sheathed knives in his arms walked in. He sat at Qin Wanlin's table, and Bai Zhantong quickly ran over to greet him. The young man ordered 2 steamed buns, a bowl of porridge and a dish of vegetables, and ate there. In no time, a middle-aged man wearing a green shirt, short beard, and holding a long knife walked in. His gaze paused for a moment on the young man in white and he shouted loudly. "Waiter, give me a beef and a pot of good wine. Why have you been following me all the way here? What is your intention?" Suddenly, the young man in white, who had arrived first, looked at the middle-aged man with a murderous intent in his eyes. She didn't expect that this middle-aged man would actually see through her disguise as a man. "I just want to spar with the girl about swordsmanship, that's all." The middle-aged man chuckled, his gaze unbridled, and he looked very arrogant. "You." The young man in white stood up at dusk upon hearing these words, clang. The short sword in his hand unsheathed and turned into a 3-foot blade, striking the middle-aged man head-on. The fierce sword force shattered the tables and chairs in the cafeteria. "Miss, you're impressive. I, Tian Boguang, like you." The middle-aged man's figure kept dodging, with a playful smile on his face. Obviously, he didn't care about the young man in white's swordsmanship. Ding! You have watched the 8-stop knife technique of the Nangong Servant and discovered the shortcomings of the 8-stop knife technique. You have integrated and completed it, and taken a big step forward from the original foundation. You have created the 19-stop knife technique, which is 10 times more powerful. At this moment, a hint sounded in Qin Wang's mind. At the same time, a clear realization appeared in Qin Wang's mind. Impressively, it is the technique of energy, operation, and perfect realization of the 19 stops of the Dao. This realization instantly blends with Qin Wang's consciousness, and he instantly masters the 19 stops of the Dao. This young man in white is actually a servant of the Southern Palace. Have you understood the 19 stops of the Dao of Sword? Upon hearing the hint in his mind, Qin Wang's heart immediately moved. He didn't expect to encounter the Southern Palace servant here. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Chapter 5. Goodbye Nangong Pushe, Huang Xuemei Breakthrough. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Nangong Servant. He knows. The most beautiful woman in the world, a martial arts prodigy, is determined to kill 4 enemies in revenge for her mother's death. She is the master of the double-blade embroidery of winter and spring thunder. Li Chungang once claimed that she is a genius who can fight against Wang Xianji in the future, and once rolled up the anime Tianfengs with one blade. At this point, the battle between Nangong Pushe and the middle-aged man had already shattered several tables, and Tong Xiangyu cried out in pain. "Oh hey, 5 tables, 5 taels of silver. That's it, we'll add 5 chairs and a door, 12 taels of silver. Lao Bai, where are you dead? Come and stop it. Here we are, just squatting in the pit." Upon receiving the call of Tong Xiangyu, Bai Zhantong hurriedly ran out of the thatched cottage with his pants and belt tied. At this moment, Nangong Pushe and the middle-aged man gradually walked outside the door. However, the middle-aged man had slightly higher strength than Nangong Pushe and wanted to capture Nangong Pushe alive. His eyes seemed to be looking at a prey. The battle between the two attracted many pedestrians and Jianghu guests to watch. The battlefield gradually drifted towards the distance. This person is actually the lecherous thief Tian Buguang. Qin Wang learned from the comments of the nearby Jianghu guests that this middle-aged man was actually the lecherous thief Tian Buguang, who had harmed countless women from good families. The women who had been sexually humiliated by him committed suicide with more toughness, and most of them dared not speak up, knocking out their teeth and swallowing them into their stomachs. Tian Buguang was wanted by the Ming dynasty and had no way out, so he hid in this heavenly demon plane. In Tong Xiangyu's murderous gaze, Bai Zhantang quickly caught up and stopped the two of them in the battle. Two of you, can you stop and compensate for the damaged tables and chairs before leaving? My inn is running on a small budget. Here. Tian Buguang took out an ingot of silver from his pocket and threw it to Bai Zhantang, who then nodded in satisfaction. At this point, the Nangong servant knew already that he was not a match for this cunning and lecherous thief. Taking this opportunity, he dodged into the alley and disappeared without a trace. Tian Buguang saw the Nangong servant escape, frowned, and jumped away. The crowd dispersed, and Qin Wang returned to the Tongfu Inn. He picked up the food he had packed and his gaze flickered as he looked at Tong Xiangyu, who was tidying up the cafeteria. He took out 1 or 2 silver coins and handed them to her, saying, "Manager Tong, could you please help me keep an eye on it? I need 2 maids to clean the yard, preferably those who are proficient in cooking. Find a maid to clean the yard. Qin Gongzi, do you think I can handle it?" Upon hearing these words, Tong Xiangyu's eyes lit up instantly. Qin Wang's family lives right behind the inn. The inn's business has been declining recently, so it's still possible to take Guo Ferong and Zhu Wushuang to clean the yard and earn some money in their free time. I have to serve around the clock. Why don't you help me find something else? Upon hearing this, Qin Wang's head was immediately covered in black lines. Oh. I understand. Upon hearing Qin Wang's words, Tong Xiangyu suddenly realized and agreed. Qin Wang walked towards his home behind the inn, carrying a food box. Not long. He arrived at his own courtyard door, took out the key, opened the courtyard door, walked in, and closed the door accordingly. Qin Wang's courtyard covers an area of 40 zhang and consists of 2 courtyard houses. Xuemei is closed in the innermost left-wing room. Qin Wang carried the food box and walked towards the kitchen, preparing to heat it up first. Xuemei closed her door and came out to eat. The kitchen is a small room on the left side of the yard, with firewood piled up outside and the door ajar. Qin Wang pushed the door open and walked into the kitchen, only to see a young man dressed in white, holding a pair of knives, standing in the corner of the kitchen. Seeing Qin Wang, he immediately pointed to his lips and gestured for him not to speak up. He was the Nangong servant who had just avoided Tian Buguang. You. Qin Wang looked at the Nangong servant and immediately understood that she was hiding from Tian Buguang in her own yard. What a young baby, can you escape from the palm of my hand? At this moment, a man's voice sounded outside the yard. Immediately after, footsteps came, and a middle-aged short-bearded man holding a long knife appeared at the kitchen window with a proud smile on his face. Bandits! Let's die! Upon seeing this, the Nangong servant's expression changed greatly, and his figure flashed in front of Qin Wang. The embroidered winter in his hand was unsheathed, and he slashed a blade towards the middle-aged short-bearded man. He, I just like girls with strong personalities. Tian Buguang chuckled and greeted him with a knife in his hand. The sword's vigorous 9 turns, qi flows through the sandalwood, passes through the heavenly spring, and can achieve the 9th stop. Qin Wang looked at the southern palace servant and knew that her sword was helpless for Tian Buguang. He immediately spoke lightly. Although he only has the 5 levels of the acquired realm, He has an incredible understanding and has created the 19 stoppings of the heavenly way. The knife technique of Nangong Servants' 8-stop shooting was insufficient. He saw through it at a glance and instructed Nangong's servant to injure Tian Buguang without any problem. What? 9 turns of the sword's vigorous energy. Does qi flow through the sandalwood? Upon hearing these words, the Southern Palace servant's heart was instantly shaken. He felt that in his mind, it was like pulling out a cloud and seeing the moon, becoming clear. The shackles that had been shackled her for a long time, yet the dusk opened up. At this moment, the qi on her body suddenly rose. The knife in her hand sliced out at a strange angle in an instant. A sharp blade slashed at Tian Buguang's wrist. Ah! Amidst the lightning and fire, Tian Buguang could only feel a surge in the aura of the prey in front of him. His knife moves were eerie, causing him to feel a pain in his wrist and his body to recoil, landing on the courtyard wall. Looking at Qin's gaze, he showed deep fear. Who are you? He remembers. Just now, it was this young man who gave a hint that the Nangong servant, who was originally not as strong as him, had the ability to harm him. But, in his view, the youth in front of him is just a 5-fold realm acquired. Buzz. At this moment, a strong and terrifying aura spread from the wing behind the courtyard. With this breath, a faint cyclone appeared over the courtyard. A terrifying pressure swept over in an instant. That Tian Buguang's expression suddenly changed and he flipped down from the courtyard wall. Rubbing his face against the ground, unable to move at all. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Chapter 6. Huang Xuemei advances to the land god Fairyland. Kneel down. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yes. Xuemei. Did she break through? Feeling the terrifying pressure as if it were a huge mountain, Qin Wang's eyes immediately showed joy. Xuemei's cultivation breakthrough, the next step is the land immortal. For him, it's a big good thing. Safety goes without saying. Moreover, having a wife from a land god Fairyland, what kind of authority in sense of achievement is that? Qin Wang discovered. The terrifying pressure that belonged to the land god Fairyland just now disappeared as it approached his body. But Tian Buguang and Nangong Pushe didn't receive such good treatment. Tian Buguang was like a miserable dog lying on the ground, with a mouth full of blood and frightened eyes. The Nangong servant was also lying on the ground, in a better condition than Tian Buguang, but he was also very embarrassed. What a terrifying pressure! How could a peerless expert break through in this courtyard? Why am I so unlucky? This is completely a doorstep suicide. At this moment, Tian Buguang's heart was filled with regret. He didn't expect that this ordinary courtyard would hide a peerless powerhouse. I'm trying to kill myself by bumping into the edge of the knife. I knew so early. Even if he were killed, he wouldn't come here to pursue this young girl disguised as a man. In this small courtyard, there is actually a peerless powerhouse. And this young master, although he appears to have only 5 levels of cultivation after birth, I received his guidance and suddenly realized that he had used the 9-stop sword technique. Is that young master a hidden and unparalleled sword technique? Nangong Pushe sat on the ground, looking at Qin Wang and then at the terrifying side room, her eyes showing a shock. You should know. She spent 5 months from the 7th stop of the Dao to the 8th stop of the Enlightenment. And this young master in white, with just a few words, made her break through to the 9th stop. Why don't I worship this young master as my teacher? In this way, my blade advancement speed will be greatly improved. I have caused trouble for this young master, but I don't know if he is willing to accept me as his disciple. Thinking of this, Nangong Pushu's heart moved, with a glimmer of hope in his eyes. She knows in her heart. My 4 major enemies are all highly cultivated land gods in the Fairyland. If you want to seek revenge, you must advance 1 day earlier. If you ask this mysterious young master in front of you to guide me again, you will have to avoid many detours. At this point, in the sky, the faint cyclone grew bigger and bigger, like a huge tornado-shaped funnel, clearly visible from hundreds of miles around. The terrifying pressure of the land god Fairyland is sweeping across 10 directions. I didn't expect to have the privilege of witnessing a peerless powerhouse break through the land god Fairyland. I don't know which sect this senior comes from. The wealthy Jianghu guests from Xianxia town, located hundreds of miles away, all looked at the funnel in the sky with shock and disgust at one after another. The funnel in the sky lasted for half an hour and gradually dissipated. At this point, in the wing room of Qin Wang's small courtyard, Huang Xuemei, dressed in green clothes and with an unparalleled appearance, sat cross-legged and slowly opened her eyes. She looked at her own hands, her bright eyes revealing a murderous intent from the forest. Breaking through the land god immortal realm, Xianxia Hui, Hulong Mountain Villa, Wushan Ju Gong. If you steal my heavenly demon Qin, you will all die. Huang Xuemei remained silent for a long time, and the killing intent in her eyes dissipated. She slowly looked up and looked out the window, her expression becoming complex. After practicing the 9 dragons' pure world thunder sound, she achieved a round transformation and reached the realm of emptiness and brightness, directly breaking through the land god immortal realm. Upon arriving at the land god immortal realm, her physical body underwent the purification of her cultivation, and many impurities in her meridians were completely removed from her body. At that time, the blood stasis that caused her brain blood vessels to block and lose memory was also completely cleared. Without congestion, her memories flooded in and all were restored. At the same time, she also knew that her name was Huang Xuemei, who was known as the Qin demon in the Ming dynasty's martial arts world and killed people like wildfire. That time, after killing Hao Qinhua, the flame ancestor, the ghost saint, and others, she encountered a series of pursuits from Xianxia Hui, Hulong Mountain Villa, and Wushan Ju Palace. She was hit in the head by a powerful tyrant, and in a daze, she desperately fled to the heavenly demon plane, losing consciousness and the heavenly demon Qin. Unexpectedly, after losing my memory, I married Qin Wang. However, I was able to restore my memory thanks to his new cultivation method. Huang Xuemei thought of Qin Wang with a complex expression in her beautiful eyes. She does not reject marrying Qin Wang. Qin Wang is a talented and demonic person with a handsome appearance, and will definitely become a superior person in the future. However, she had just regained her memory and for a while, she didn't know how to face Qin Wang. And the first thing she needs to do now is to retrieve the heavenly demon Qin. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Chapter 7. Southern Palace Servants Worship. I am Huang Xuemei. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Forget it, I won't tell my husband for now. I have regained my memory. To prevent Xianggong from being afraid. Huang Xuemei pondered for a moment and secretly made up her mind. She knew in her heart that she was a ruthless Qin demon in the martial arts world, with a bad reputation. Speaking it out would affect the relationship between husband and wife. However, it's not her fault, it's just that those Jianghu guests are too greedy and want to snatch the heavenly demon Qin, and she was also forced to do so. Huang Xuemei stood up with a nervous heart, opened the door, walked out of the room, and looked at Qin Wang standing at the door with a happy face, shouting. Xianggong. Xuemei, you have broken through the land god immortal realm, it's really great. Qin Wang looked at Xuemei and realized that although she was a land god Fairyland, she had not changed anything to him. Well, thanks to the techniques you have mastered, Xianggong, I was able to advance. Otherwise, I wonder if I could have advanced to the land god immortal realm in this lifetime. Huang Xuemei found that when she faced her husband, her heart was actually very nervous. Her bare hands in her sleeve and robe couldn't help but tighten, feeling uneasy in her heart as she slowly spoke. Xianggong, are you hungry? I'll go cook for you. Xuemei, no need to make it. I ate it at Tongfu Inn and brought you a portion of your favorite fatty intestines and roasted chicken. Qin Wangyang raised the food box in his hand and said to Huang Xuemei. So. Huang Xuemei walked forward, took the food box from Qin Wang's hand, and looked at Tian Buguang, who was feeling miserable on one side, asking. Xianggong, what should this person do? She regained her memory. I also know that I have a bad reputation and kill people like a horse. I must have a good impression in front of my husband and cannot kill anyone again. Therefore, how to deal with this middle-aged man who broke into a private house is up to my husband to decide. This person is Tian Buguang, a notorious and vicious lecherous thief in the martial arts world. Kill him and eliminate harm for the people. Qin Wang gave Tian Buguang a faint glance, thinking that such a lecherous thief must be killed and kept to harm others. Ha ha ha, I, Tian Buguang, have read nearly 1,000 women throughout my life and have not wasted any time. That's enough. Come on. Upon hearing Qin Wang's words, Tian Buguang's mouth overflowed with blood, but instead burst into laughter. He knows. What one does will eventually be punished. You are so full of evil deeds. Qin Wang looked at Tian Buguang. He didn't expect that Tian Buguang had actually harmed so many people. Immediately walked forward and slapped his spiritual cover with a palm. A generation of lecherous thief, Tian Buguang, tilted his head and died from exhaustion. This peerless powerhouse is such a young and stunning woman. Is it still the wife of this young master? Nangong Pushe stood aside, her beautiful eyes revealing a deep shock. She feels. This young master's true cultivation is definitely not the 5th level of the day after tomorrow. It is very likely that he is a retired senior in the martial arts world, but he is skilled and looks young. Otherwise, as a peerless powerhouse in the land god immortal realm, one would not marry someone with only 5 levels of cultivation after birth. Miss Nangong, Tian Buguang, who is chasing you, is dead. You are free now. Qin Wang looked at the Nangong servant with a complex expression and said calmly. Little woman Nangong servant, thank you very much for the guidance and life-saving kindness of the 2 predecessors. The Southern Palace attendant respectfully clenched his fists at Qin Wang and Huang Xuemei. Senior. Upon hearing this, Qin Wang smiled at Huang Xuemei and said. Miss Nangong, don't call me a senior either. I'm not very old, only 20 years old, The Nangong servant blinked his eyes and immediately said respectfully. As the old saying goes, master is the teacher. The young master casually instructed me on the path of swordsmanship, which allowed me to break through to the 9 stops of the path. In my heart, the young master is the master of martial arts. The Southern Palace servant is burdened with deep blood and sea enmity, suffering from the slow entry of the Dao and unable to avenge his mother. I beg for your mercy and accept me as my disciple. Nangong Pushe said and knelt in front of Qin Wang. The intention of Nangong Pushe to become a disciple has been deeply considered in her heart. The young man in front of me, who can hate the flower-picking thief Tian Buguang, shows that he has justice in his heart and is not a villain. Besides, in the heart of the Nangong servant, as long as he can improve his cultivation and pay any price for revenge, she is willing. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Chapter 8. Maid Nangong Servant, Huang Xuemei is going to report. You are listening at novelfull.audio. accepting you as an apprentice. Looking at the Nangong servant kneeling in front of him, Qin Huang was stunned for a moment, then waved his hand and said, I'm still young and won't accept apprentices. Young master, please accept me. I can do anything. As long as you can spare some time to give me some guidance. Seeing Qin Huang's unwillingness to accept his apprenticeship, the southern palace servant immediately felt anxious. Qin Gongzi, how do you like Guo Furong? At this moment, Tong Xiangyu from Tongfu Inn on the street ahead stood outside the yard, looking at Qin Huang and saying, I need a maid around the clock to do laundry, cook, and clean these things. Guo Furong is working at your inn, so coming back to me may not be good, right? Qin Huang shook his head when he saw Tong Xiangyu. I've agreed with her that she won't work with me, she'll be with you 24/7. Tong Xiangyu glanced at Huang Xuemei next to Qin Huang, as if sensing a different aura on her body. She immediately withdrew her gaze and looked at the Nangong servant. Forget it, you will definitely find it back in the second half of the year. Instead of bothering me, I still want to find a long-term maid. Qin Huang shook his head. As far as he knows. The weather has been getting hotter recently, and the business of Tongfu Inn has been declining. There are more people inside. Tong Xiangyu, with the idea of saving expenses, left Guo Furong here and wanted to go back when she was busy. When the time comes, won't you be looking for it again? Young master, are you looking for a maid? Tong Xiangyu had not yet spoken, but a glimmer of hope flashed in the eyes of the southern palace attendant. Qin Huang nodded. Do you think I'm good? I can do anything without any pay, as long as you give me some easy guidance. Do you think I'm good? The southern palace attendant looked at Qin Huang with hopeful eyes. What? This girl disguised as a man is going to be Qin Gongzi's maid. No salary. Just a little guidance from Qin Gongzi. What can Qin Gongzi give? Upon hearing the words of the Nangong servant, Tong Xiangyu immediately widened her eyes, showing a look of disbelief. She has never seen someone voluntarily request to be a maid and not pay any wages. This girl voluntarily requests to be a maid, or maybe. When I'm not around, my husband really needs someone to take care of him. Standing next to Qin Huang, Huang Xuemei thought of going to seek revenge and her heart moved. She immediately spoke up. Xianggong, just accept her and have someone else by your side to take care of you. Nangong, then you can stay with me as a maid from now on. Qin Huang nodded at the words. Firstly, the yard is so big, with only myself and Xuemei, it's a bit empty. Secondly, there must be someone to clean and cook for those miscellaneous tasks. Thank you very much, young master. Upon hearing Qin Huang's agreement, the southern palace attendant immediately showed a surprised expression in his beautiful eyes. Tong Xiangyu saw that Qin Huang had found the maid, and immediately returned the silver. She turned around and returned to the Tongfu Inn. The Nangong servant went to tidy up the yard. Qin Huang and Xuemei went to the cafeteria. Huang Xuemei nibbled on her fat intestines while peeking at Qin Huang. Thinking of how she had become a woman during her amnesia, she couldn't help but feel deeply moved. Xuemei, do you have anything to say to me? Qin Huang looked at Xuemei, who was hesitating to speak, and his heart moved as he asked. Xianggong, I. Huang Xuemei took a deep breath and said. I suddenly remembered that I have something to do. Can I come back when I finish it? She is going to seek revenge. After preparing to seek revenge, she returned with peace of mind to teach her husband and son. Suddenly remembered something to do. Have you regained some memory? Upon hearing Xuemei's words, Qin Huang's heart moved. Did Xuemei remember who she was? Advancing to the land god immortal realm, the body will sublimate, and there is a high possibility that memory will be restored. No. I just remember some things from the past that need to be completed. When I finish them, I'll come back to accompany you. Huang Xuemei gave Qin Wang a beautiful glance, and she suddenly felt that she was actually very nervous. So, when are you going to do something? Where are you going? Is it dangerous? Qin Wang asked. I'll stabilize my state first and go in a few days. It's not dangerous for me. Huang Xuemei pondered for a moment and said. Okay, I'll prepare something delicious for you in the next 2 days. Qin Wang nodded and said. Xuemei's current cultivation is in the land god immortal realm, and she is only 5 levels after birth. There is nothing she can do to help her, the only thing she can do is to improve her strength. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Chapter 9. Buying a Qin. Teach the Dao of Sword 19 stops. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Nangong, I didn't expect that your cooking skills are pretty good. As the sky gradually darkened, Qin Wang, Huang Xuemei, and Nangong Pushe sat in the dining room. Qin Wang looked at Nangong Pushe with an unexpected expression in his eyes. Young master, when I was a child, I used to live alone and had to make my own food, so these things won't make it difficult for me. Nangong Pushe said, as if she had thought of something, with a hint of melancholy in her beautiful eyes. Eating. Qin Wang saw the situation and knew that the Nangong servant might have remembered his deceased mother. He immediately picked up a piece of braised fish and stuffed it into his mouth, changing the topic and saying. This fish is good. Young master, if you like it, I will cook more for you and your wife in the future. Nangong Pushe glanced at Qin Wang and Huang Xuemei and said. Okay, then we'll have some good taste. Qin Wang picked up several pieces of fish one after another and put them in Huang Xuemei's bowl. After dinner. Huang Xuemei, however, took advantage of the empty time when the Nangong servant went to wash dishes and looked at Qin Wang, whispering. Xianxia. I still need to stabilize my realm for a while. So. Tonight. It's important for you to stabilize your state first. Upon hearing this, Qin Wang immediately nodded and said. Tonight, I'll sleep in the next room. When you're in a stable state, we'll sleep together again. Xianxia, I'm sorry. Huang Xuemei looked at Qin Wang and smoothed out the wrinkled clothes on his chest, revealing guilt in her beautiful eyes. Actually, a stable state is one aspect, and more importantly, she has regained her memory. She has not yet figured out how to face Qin Wang. When facing Qin Wang honestly, her heart is slightly uneasy. Why are you, my wife, saying these things? You can compensate me when the time comes. Qin Wang smiled slightly. Well, then I'll go stabilize the realm. Huang Xuemei gave Qin Wang a sweet smile and turned to enter the room. What should I do tonight? It's been a long night. Seeing Xuemei closing the door, Qin Wang looked at his hands. He had been newlywed for less than 3 days, and what was originally delicious was now left hanging on the side. Qin Wang's heart was like scratching a cat. Can't we use 5 girls? Isn't that enough? Forget it, let's practice first. Go buy a piano tomorrow during the day. Qin Wang thought to himself. The 9 dragons pure thunder sound he cultivates consists of 9 layers, including cultivation techniques and sound attack and killing moves. The sound attack and killing moves need to be performed in conjunction with the instrument, and the best instrument is the Qin. The better the instrument, the higher the cultivation level, and the stronger the power of killing moves. Although Xuemei has advanced to the land god immortal realm, but his own cultivation also needs to be improved as soon as possible. You should know. This is the heavenly demon plane, where giants from many dynasties in the martial arts world gather together. With high strength, one can feel more at ease. The next day. Early morning. Qin Huang finished the breakfast made by the Nangong servant and lay on a recliner in the yard. Xuemei entered the room to stabilize her state. Young master, are you really just the 5th level realm of the day after tomorrow? Nangong Pushe stood beside Qin Huang, her bright eyes widened, revealing an expression of disbelief. How could someone who can guide her from the 8-stop sword path to the 9-stop advanced sword path only have the realm of the 5 heavens after tomorrow? Yes, I am indeed the 5th level of the day after tomorrow. However, know how to use the 19-stop blade technique, which is limited to my cultivation level and cannot be used. Qin Huang smiled slightly and looked at the Nangong servant who was still dressed as a man, saying, "Since you have become my maid, as agreed, I will guide you to practice until the 19th stop of the sword path." 19 stops. Upon hearing Qin Huang's words, the southern palace attendant immediately widened her eyes. She had only stopped 9 times, 19 times, and she dared not even think about it. The Dao of Sword has 19 stops, 6 stops can kill the 2nd level, 9 stops can kill the finger Xian, and 12 stops can kill the heavenly elephant. 16 stops, even the great Vajra of Buddhism can break through, and the heavenly body and soul are like white paper. After 18 stops, there are no land immortals in front of it. If you take the sword first, you will be invincible. Qin Huang nodded and said again. You have only reached the 9th stop now, and once you reach the 19th stop, you can go seek revenge. Let me first pass you the mnemonic and insights of the 19 stops in the sword path. Yes. Upon hearing this, the southern palace attendant immediately widened his bright eyes and listened eagerly. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one. Did you realize chapter 10 just by watching the sword once? Kneeling down. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After more than 15 minutes. Qin Huang stopped 19 times and told all of them to the Nangong servants. What a miraculous technique of the Dao of Knife. This is something I couldn't have imagined before. I didn't expect that the young master's profound understanding of the Dao of Knife would be so profound. Give me your knife and I'll show you how to use it, it's more intuitive. Qin Huang pondered for a moment and said. The southern palace attendant respectfully handed Shodong to Qin Huang, with anticipation in her beautiful eyes. Qin Huang drew his sword and unsheathed it, starting from the 9th stop. Originally, based on his cultivation, he could not unleash the 19 stoppages of the Dao. However, the 19 stoppages of the Dao were realized by him. Although he could not fully display its power, it was still possible to display 1,000th of its power and the divine essence of the 19 stoppages. Shi. Qin Huang held the knife in his hand and his figure changed. At the same time, a terrifying and unstoppable sword intent spread from him. What a terrifying sword intent. Is this the 11th stop of the sword path? 11 stops are so powerful, how terrifying would 19 stops be? Nangong Pushe felt the terrifying intent of the knife, and a look of terror appeared in her eyes. She instinctively took a few steps back until she leaned against the courtyard wall before stopping. At this point, she found that although the young master was only using the sword intent move, the artistic conception of that move had already been displayed, condensing the sword momentum. Being in that momentum, one's mind would be immediately affected and suppressed. She knows in her heart. Between each stop, the power skyrocketed more than 5 times. As Qin Huang wielded his sword until the 12th stop, the southern palace lackeys had retreated 100 zhang outside the courtyard. At this moment, the figure of Huang Xuemei, who was in a stable state in the wing room, flashed and appeared in the courtyard. Looking at Qin Huang, her beautiful eyes revealed deep fear. How could Xianxia have such a terrifying sword momentum? Why didn't you see him perform before? Huang Xuemei looked at her husband, who was wielding her sword, with a deep shock in her beautiful eyes. She set foot in the land fairy tale. It has been seen that the sword technique used by the Xiangong can only unleash 1/1000th of its power due to insufficient strength. If he waits for enough strength to unleash this kind of sword momentum again, he will definitely be able to kill the land god immortal realm. Nangong, have you seen it clearly? Qin Wang withdrew his sword and embroidered the ground with a winter pestle. He looked at the southern palace servant, and fine beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. Although he only demonstrated a small part of the momentum of the 12 stops in the blade path, but for him, the consumption was still extremely high. It was more tiring to cast it once than losing it 5 or 6 times. Young master, I have seen a large part clearly. Thank you for your hard work. The southern palace attendant looked at Qin Wang with a grateful expression in his beautiful eyes. He quickly handed over the prepared towel to wipe Qin Wang's sweat. My current cultivation level can only support the demonstration until the 12th stop. You can practice first, and I will demonstrate it to you again after a while. Qin Wang took the towel, and at this moment, Huang Xuemei handed over a glass of water and said, Xiangong, drink some water. Qin Wang took the water and drank it all in one gulp. Xiangong, how could you have such a mysterious sword technique? Why didn't I see you perform it before? Seeing Qin Wang finish drinking water, Huang Xuemei walked forward and asked curiously. I didn't know it before. It was yesterday when I saw Nangong wielding the 8-stop sword technique and fighting against Nadabuguang that I realized it. Qin Wang smiled slightly and said. What? Young master, just seeing me perform the 8-stop sword technique once is enough to realize the 19-stop sword technique. Is this true? What kind of demon intelligence is this? Upon hearing Qin Wang admit that he had realized it himself, the Nangong servant covered her mouth with her hands and her beautiful eyes showed shock, almost unable to believe her own eyes. New books seek everything, flowers, and collections. Seeking evaluation votes. A flower review ticket can reveal the potential of a new book. If you have a flower review ticket in your hand, please donate one.